Welcome back to Mad Genius. I'm Ariel Kashanchi, and I am in week 3 of my special mental health program, my IOP, intensive outpatient program. And I'm learning about a lot of things. It's really hard. They have us do exercises where you're just like confronting something that you want to like forget ever happened, but you know that it shapes the way that you are. So you got to confront it and work with it and acknowledge it before you can move on from it, unfortunately. There's a lot of processing when bullshit happens that we don't do. Or certainly I don't. I haven't. They're having me do inner child work where I have to look at a photo of myself and as a child and talk to that person and see how I would talk if I would talk to her the way that I talk to myself currently. And I haven't done it yet, but I will. But it's that intense. But then some of it is light. Like they had us do some art, and today we did art therapy. Can you hear those sirens? Sorry, that's the kind of neighborhood I live in. I drew a tree. It was in grass with a couple tulips growing out, but the tree was just starting to sprout. So it was really lovely. And then I was like, let me add a sun. And that's when things went south because I added a partial sky because I was like, oh, there's no way I'm like creating more foreground, or like I was like, this is too much. So it's a beautiful tree with like great tulips and a weird sky. And that was my art therapy painting today. That's I like that we do these things that are kind of almost light. Like they had us do an exercise where we were blindfolded and there were cups all over the floor and coins, and we had to work with partners to guide us through the thing with the blindfolds on without hitting any cups, but also collecting coins. I did very well, I must say. Everybody was impressed by my coin collection, and but I also it's like you have to have a good partner. Anyways, so some of the things are light, and some of the things, so it kind of counters the heavy stuff that we deal with. Like this, today we dealt with intergenerational trauma. And that was really like, then you have to go back and be like, well, okay. Who fucked up my parent? Oh yeah, my grandparent. Well, who fucked up my grandparent? Oh, my great grandparent. Like, what do I know about these people? And it's just this vicious cycle that you have to stop. It's much like the controversial film, It Ends With Us. Oh, that lawsuit. I'm bored hearing about it because unless they go to trial, like Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, I'm not interested in these people. They bore me. They're all terrible is my takeaway. Like they're all terrible people. Anyway, what else did I want to talk about? Oh, God, I've decided I don't want to date right now. I mean, I have an ex that I go on, I guess, kind of dates with. but we're not dating per se, and I don't want to be in a relationship. I mean, he's somebody I know and I am comfortable with, and like I enjoy his company and I like him as a person. But I don't think I'm in a place where I can be, and I always, but I really want to be, it's like I'm blocking myself from it because, yeah, I really want to be in a relationship. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that. Like, I want to have a partner, man. I don't have a family. I'd love to have a partner. Like, just an emergency contact. Like, that's where I am. So that's my status for today. Let's talk about what's going on in the world. There's a TikTok trend of dropping things on your feet and giving it a pain scale number. And like, this is the demise of society. The fact that people are hurting themselves intentionally so that they would get views on a pointless, meaningless social media platform. Like, what have we come to? What's next? I don't want to know what kind of torture people are going to do on TikTok to themselves, but we're headed down like pierce your own septum road with this TikTok trending. What else did I want to talk about? Okay, so, oh my God, this mayor in Brazil paid people off to fake an assassination because he was up for election or re-election, and they ended up shooting him in the shoulder accidentally, and somehow it was discovered that they were paid by him indirectly. And shockingly, he didn't win re-election. Like, I think what he thought was like, well, listen, Trump got the bullet to his ear and that won him the election, and I'm gonna do the same. And it's like, no, man, Trump went on Rogan. That's why he won the election. Let's just call it what it is. That was the deal maker. That was the mind changer. That was the one that brought people on the MAGA train. And I'm not saying I'm not a MAGA person, but I don't think he is a terrible monster who is going to destroy our world. I think he's done some things that seem like reasonable so far. So, I mean, I gotta give him a shot. I'm giving him a shot. So we have this bird flu egg shortage going on right now, and people are buying and renting chickens so that they could hatch their own eggs. Like, this is that trad wife thing taken way too far. Like, do you understand how much work it is to raise a goddamn chicken? It's not even like a dog. They're very high maintenance and they're gross. And you'd be going in there and cleaning chicken shit on a daily basis. Chicken poo. Oh, as somebody who grew up, my father was psychotic, and they never really let us get like pets until I kind of forced one upon them. But he had 150 pigeons whose cage was right outside my bedroom window. Like, I couldn't open the door because the stench, I couldn't open my window because the stench of these birds would come out. And some of them were interesting, some of them were doves, some of them looked like helicopters, like their hairstyle. Some of them had a peacock style body. Jacobines is what they were called. But it was a gross hobby, and our backyard, like when he would let them out of the cage, and then overnight he would put them in, so that way if like an animal came, they were safe. And it was gross. It was just so gross. And he was like, my father is definitely on the spectrum. Like, he's had all these strange hobbies and collections. Like, 150 pigeons is a lot. I think maybe it was 200 at one point, but my mother made him downgrade. But he has like a necktie collection, a toy car collection, a teapot collection, a bizarre wine bottle collection, an exotic instrument collection, cacti and succulent collection, and I believe there are many more. And I think it's safe to say that man is on the spectrum. That is who I was raised by. Okay. So there was a couple on a flight on Qatari Airlines, and this woman is coming out of the bathroom, and then she just passes out and dies on the plane. And this couple had 2 spots next to them, and they made them sit next to this woman. They like had them scoot over, and they made them sit next to this dead woman for a how many hour flight? For a 10-hour flight. And they kept asking to be seated elsewhere, but they wouldn't seat them elsewhere because I guess there were other empty seats. And they forced them to sit in the same row as a fucking corpse. Can you imagine? And they didn't even offer them like a free lifetime of flights. That's better than the $30,000. Those, what was it, Delta Airlines that flipped the plane and had those people had to emergency escape. Thank God they all had their seatbelts on. But how traumatizing that they offered them $30,000 for that. That's all you offer? I hope they're class actioning this. So Elon Musk sent an email to all federal employees asking them to list 5 accomplishments they had from the previous week. And then he tweeted that anyone who doesn't respond, that's considered a resignation. And so, I mean, this is so unorthodox, but also at the same time, 5 accomplishments, that shouldn't be, like if anyone were to ask me in any job, what are 5 accomplishments you made last week? I could very easily list them. You should be able to say that I am a productive member of this team. So I don't see anything wrong with that. Like, people are so anti-Elon these days, but you know, he's just an awkward kind of guy. And sometimes he says dumb things, and sometimes he makes weird moves. But I don't think he's like a harmful person. I don't dislike him. I'm sorry. I'm not like a fan, but I don't dislike him. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you so much for listening. If you like this episode, please share, tell a friend, post about it, anything.